It is another episode of the States Up podcast. I'm your host, Brain Freeman. And again, we tell the stories of the student athletes each and every week with the States Up. And we're coming off a pretty impressive week here at Texas State. So many great things have happened over the past, 6-7 days or so. Certainly the football team becoming bowl eligible for the first time since 2014. Doing so at home. We've seen the team celebrating by jumping into the river. What a cool moment that was. On Monday, the season openers for both Bobcat men and women's basketball. In the case of the women, got to unveil their Sun Belt Conference Championship banner from winning a regular season title from last year. And how about Bobcat volleyball, winning their 8th straight game this past Saturday against Troy. And with that, they've clinched the West Division and the West's #1 seed in the upcoming Sun Belt Conference tournament and a double round bye right to the tournament semifinals. So we're talking volleyball today on the podcast. And one of the cool things, too, about this past week was that Texas State swept the weekly honors in the conference. Offensive Player of the Week, Samantha Wunsch. Defensive Player of the Week, Alyssa Ortega. And the Setter of the Week is our guest on this week's podcast, Ryann Torres, who joins us now. Ryann, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Ryann, you and I have talked a couple of times. We sat down and did the preview show together, and fast forward now to, close to the end of the regular season, and here you are, 18-7, West Division champions. And as we record this podcast, you're getting ready for a huge series against Coastal Carolina this week, a series that could determine the regular season champion this year. So what has the journey been like for the team this season?
Yeah, we've gone through a lot of growing pains, in the best way. The growth that this team has developed over a short amount of time, it's pretty abnormal to see. And so, we've gone through a lot of adversity in the beginning of the season. And I think that, we matured very, very fast. And we just been working really, really hard and mostly just playing together as a team and, having each other's backs, on and off the court physically as well. And so, the journey has been seems very long, but I really think that everything that we've gone through this season will pay off.
Some of the adversity has been injuries, that includes yourself. You had to miss some time, early this season. That time away for you, how did you spend it? How tough was it for you to not be there with your team?
Yeah, I was out for 2 weeks. I stayed home. I wasn't allowed to go anywhere. I had a concussion. Not that I wanted to go anywhere, but
sure.
Watching from through a screen on my on my TV through my from my living room. It was very hard. When I saw my team, be in trouble, I wanted to be there mostly. It's not I wish I was there because they were doing really good. It was I wanted to be there for my team because I knew, they needed another upperclassman to look up to. And, but honestly, I really think that they played through it and yeah.
And, right now, the team has overcome some of those, bumps along the way. You're healthy now. Bailey Hanner is healthy now. A lot of players have been able to overcome, some injuries. KJ Johnson's been dealing with some shoulder issues. And here you are now, in your best stretch of the year, having won 8 straight. And to do so this time of year is so critical, with the end of the regular season approaching. In terms of, confidence and momentum, how much are you guys playing with right now?
Yeah, we're playing with tons of confidence and even motivation. The grittiness of this team is I just never seen before. And especially coming from a young class, you know, just that everyone has like that dog mentality that I just admired so much. And, you know, I just sent them a text not too long ago, just letting them know like how proud I am of this team and how far we became, and just taking one game at a time, and like during games, first to five, like games to five. And we just we've had that mentality of just not getting ahead of ourselves. And that just makes me really happy.
And how fun is it this time of year, too? I mentioned that the series coming up, this week could determine the regular season champion. The tournament next week in Foley will determine the tournament champion. And, with your RPI being what it is now, so you're sitting at 36 in the RPI at the time of this recording. There's a chance that even if you don't win the tournament, that you could still get an at-large bid. So this time of year, with all of that on the line, how fun is that?
No, yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of athletes would think like, oh, this is the thick of it. This is the hardest part of the season. But I just don't feel like that. It's very, very fun, very motivating. And just knowing what we can earn this weekend and even next, it's very exciting. And I feel the excitement for everyone.
I mentioned the RPI, Ryan, and I go back to last season, and the team makes a great run, to the tournament finals, lose a tough match against JMU, but still felt as if the resume was good enough to get an at-large berth, and that didn't happen, and Sean Hewitt, kind of took that to heart, and the mantra that he instilled to the team this year was leave no doubt. And it really feels like, the team has really taken that message, to heart, this year. How important has that been for this team to kind of play up to that leave no doubt mantra?
Yeah, it's been, talked about throughout the rest, like the whole entire season, just like a little bit of a reminder and to motivate, like we're going to get business done. We have to get business done and finished and completed. And, just reminding them of leaving no doubt every single day. I definitely think that we do live up to that, and we still continue to do that as well.
So this is your fourth year, with the program, and the first several years, of course, you're playing behind Emily DeWalt. You got some significant playing time because there were, stretches where Emily was hurt, and you had to step in and play in her place. What have you taken away, from your 4 years at Texas State, which, by the way, I know you're a senior, but you will be coming back again next year, so your career does not end whenever the season does. But what have you enjoyed about the journey so far?
I mean, yeah, I'm very fortunate to, get that playing time, the past 3 years, and just having that experience of, going in, to back someone up, or having backing someone up, or coming in at a crucial time where, we need a serve and we need to get on a run to get ahead or something. I'm fortunate that prepared me to, be in a starting lineup, and just having that crossed out already of how I'm already on my toes and ready for anything. And, especially at the hardest moments.
So your first year, I believe was the COVID season in 2020.
Yes.
And, and the team powers through and wins the Sun Belt, tournament championship. You play in the NCAAs, so you got to experience, the championship expectations that come with playing at Texas State volleyball. For you then, after having tasted that as a freshman, how determined are you to recreate that feeling now, as soon as this year as a senior?
Oh, yeah. The past few weeks, since it's just been getting closer and closer to the tournament, I've just been raging with competitiveness and, just, for instance, just watching the Texas Rangers win the World Series, like I got emotional because I just wanted to feel that championship win so bad. And, the role that I had my freshman year, like, yes, it was from the sidelines, but, I got to share that feeling with people that, played. And I can't even imagine what it would feel like if we were to win, just being in the starting six. And so, I mean, yeah, you can ask anyone, you can ask my coaches, been telling them, I'm just like, I want that ring so bad. And I'm so determined to make it happen.
You mentioned the Texas Rangers. You're probably winning over some of our fans who are also Rangers fans, but also alienating some who are Astros fans. So,
Right.
but I look at the makeup of this year's team, and certainly, your game has risen quite a bit, and so many players were asked to elevate their game, given everything that was lost from a year ago. And I look at Samantha Wunsch and the season that she has had, as a redshirt freshman, this year. Bailey Hanner and Jed DeFree stepping up in the middle. You had, the transfer from Fairfield and KJ Johnson, who's been one of the top offensive players, in the Sun Belt Conference this season. I feel like it's been a great bounce back year for Alyssa Ortega at the libero position. She's become one of the top back row defenders in the Sun Belt. How much do you feel as if everybody has kind of stepped up their game this year?
Yeah, there's just no doubt that they have. They've always had that as well, from since they got here up until now. Just like I said before, like everyone is a leader in their own way. And I think that's very rare to see on one team. And everyone just has something to offer, and they do it every single game, whether that is, just putting your hands up, getting to touch on the block, or, bringing everyone in, looking at everyone in the eye and just talking to them, being that vocal leader that they have. And, no doubt that they haven't pursued their job to their fullest potential.
I name dropped a few of your teammates. Who are you closest to on the team these days?
My roommate is Alyssa Ortega, so I'm around her every single day. Maggie, me and her have a very good relationship as well, and we kind of got close last year during Christmas break, and just having that one-on-one time with both of them, I think it just really helped with the chemistry on the team. Yeah,
Maggie Walsh, a player you just referenced who's, from St. Marcus, and she's also stepped up her game quite a bit. She is from St. Marcus. You are from Buda, so you grew up 10 minutes outside the arena, something like that. I have to imagine that you've been familiar with Texas State volleyball for a really long time. What was it like for you growing up, playing the game, learning about Texas State, and then later in life being offered a scholarship to play for the Bobcats?
Yeah, I've been knowing about Texas State volleyball since maybe elementary, middle school, and I started going to their camps starting in middle school. I remember playing against Sean Hewitt's club team at a club tournament, and he just kind of nudged at my coach like, hey, like, kind of not supposed to be doing this, but like, who's number 14, And so I just realized later down the road, I was just so fortunate of, having someone's interest so close to home, and that benefited me even now. I totally take advantage of being so close to home, but, it's been very good, been very, very good being a part of Texas State volleyball.
The fact that you grew up in Buda, family still over there, how great is it for you to have friends and family that you grew up with and around, being able to come to, a lot of your games?
Yes, the support system just carries every single year. I see some family friends that I haven't seen in so long that still live around the area that pop up to one of my games, and it just makes me so happy and just feel so grateful of just having that big group of a support system, and just them being there when I need them.
Yeah. Speaking of the Torres family, one thing that, jumped out when I was kind of looking up your bio is the fact that you have 4 sisters. You are one of 5 girls in the family, so 5 Torres children, all 5 girls. And the age range is pretty unique. I think talking to you earlier, youngest is 9, oldest is 24. You were number 2, in order there, you're 21. So what was the dynamic like in the Torres family with 5 girls running around?
Oh my goodness. A lot of babysitting, a lot of cleaning, everything that you can think of. I feel bad for my dad. It got pretty chaotic, and we all have such different big personalities. In one tiny little house, it definitely got chaotic at times and overwhelming. But I mean, that's the fun of it, of having so many sisters. And just two very, very, very good supportive parents as well that looked like they knew what they were doing. So.
Yeah. And what's funny, when I first learned of all these sisters, I'm picturing like all five of you, playing volleyball with one another, but that's not the case. You're the only, not only are you the only volleyball player, but you're the only athlete of the girls. Is that right?
Yes. My sisters tried, different sports when they were little babies. And I think my older sister played volleyball, JV volleyball in high school, but she said from her words, she wasn't that good. But, my mom introduced the game to me and my older sister in elementary school, and we would just pepper in the backyard, and my mom hitting balls at me, 6 years old. And I just was one of the puppies that just wanted the ball all the time and started playing.
Yeah, I was curious, where your love of volleyball came from, since your sisters weren't as involved as you were. But, it's great to see your mom kind of help you along the way when you were younger. And it kind of feels like a little bit that things are coming full circle for you, and the fact that you're working on a degree in ESS and in education, so I understand that you yourself want to, teach younger kids and coach again, and coach as well yourself. Why is it that you want to get into that?
Yeah, so my minor is special education, and my 11-year-old sister, Dana, she has autism. And that really motivated me to learn more about what special education, has to offer for students with disabilities. And learning about, coaching and teaching and what I can do, meshing those two together. It's been very, very fun. And for instance, today, we got to go to the river with a special education class from middle school, and they got to go into kayaks into the river. And so we were there for that fun with them, and just the smiles at the end of the day. That's just all I'm looking for. And just having close relationships with, students is like that's a must.
Yeah.
That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, well said, Ryan. Good on you to again be kind of paying it forward a bit in what it is that you're pursuing. Once your playing days are over, but we know they're not over this year. Not by a long shot. You got a huge series against Coastal Carolina, the tournament next week, and here's to hoping more volleyball beyond that as well in the NCAA tournament. Can't thank you enough, Ryan, for joining us. It's been great catching up with you again. The team is playing great. Keep it going, and looking forward to seeing more from you and the team over the next few weeks.
Thank you so much for having me.
You got it. Well, that again, Ryann Torres, the guest of this week's State Sub podcast. Again, the Bobcats hosting Coastal Carolina in a huge 2-match series this week. Both matches will be available on ESPN Plus. Looking forward to the coverage of the regular season finale. So for Ryann Torres, I'm Brant Freeman, as always, reminding you to keep your States up, and we'll see you next time.